All right, guys, hopefully that's us live. Just checking something there. So cool. Hope you're all doing well. It is Mark here from Success Mindset Life. I'm a mindset transformation peak performance mentor. I help people in my mentorships and live events, which we're obviously not doing at the minute in this current call it what you like, guys, challenging transition. That's all it is. It's a challenging transition we're all going through, but it's how you deal with it and how you manage it with your mindset. And it's all relative to what what type of mindset you currently have. So if you've got a strong mindset, you're going to go through this well. If you haven't, we're going to be talking about something tonight, guys. It's really going to make sense in what I've been saying and what I'm saying here now, because it's a thing called the hierarchy of needs by a guy called Abraham Maslow. So we'll talk about that in a second. I'm just going to give you kind of a quick going over that amazing philosophy that he came up with back, and he was in around when he was, I think it was 30, so that would have been in around, he was born in 1908 and he passed away, yeah, so it'd be in around 1930, 40. So he's was a psychologist, psychiatrist, that really understood the mind, not just psychologists and psychiatrists, because that's, not, these guys that were studying psychology went exponentially more than that. That's why they're known, like this guy, like Dr. Truman and Fleet that you hear me talking about. They really studied the mind and neuroscience. So guys, you can hear me okay and see me okay, everything's good. Just wanted to double check that on the live stream. So also, I appreciate everyone tuning in. We are live here on Facebook and LinkedIn, which is pretty cool on this platform. I'm also doing an interview tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to start doing these live streams with people, interviewing them, which is going to be pretty cool, and bringing some of you guys on that want to come on and chat at times. But yeah, you'll see tomorrow evening we're doing an interview with a nutritionist, a friend that is an expert in his field, and you'll really get a lot of value from us. So it's going to really help people at the minute in terms of like their immune system and knowing how to look after themselves in terms of their nutrition. Mindset is obviously majorly important in that, as well as I talk about on here, but obviously your food and how you look after your what just called your gut biome, as David will talk about tomorrow. So guys, put in 1 if you're on here live, and put in 2 if you're on here in the replay, as we do, just to see who's on live, who's on replay, and just to gauge the numbers. And please, guys, if you get value here tonight, please share this, get it out to more and more people. Let's grow a community of people that really want to have a better mindset and empower themselves to be the best version of themselves. So getting into the topic tonight, this is from a guy called Abraham Maslow. So Abraham Maslow was, as I said, a psychologist that really studied the mind way more than a normal psychologist, and he came up with this this model called the hierarchy of needs. Now, there's another thing out there. One of my mentors, you'll see him here. Actually, he's in the picture. Tony Robbins. He's been a mentor of mine. He actually came out with the thing called the 6 human needs, which I'll probably cover at some stage as well. So it's kind of similar but different, but there is similarities in this, what Tony came out with. But today we're talking about the hierarchy of needs from Abraham Maslow. So guys, as you can see, the bottom rung of this is there's 2 things, and I have these all colored for a reason, because this part is kind of interlinked, and then you move up to the next part, which is these 2 parts. These are interlinked, and then there's the highest part, and the highest part is where you really want to be at in life and where you want to transition to if you want to really live your absolute best life, if you want to be all you can be. And as Abraham Maslow said, and it's so true, it's so true. Tony talks about this in his human needs model as well, that if you want to be fulfilled, happy, truly happy, you want to be up here, not down here, guys, and in this bottom part. If you're down there, you're just surviving in life and you're not thriving. And when you're surviving, you're not truly happy. You're just getting by and you're trying to just get through life. That's not happiness. That's, that's surviving basically. So you want to transition up here. So how this works is, like, we're all living all of these all of the time. If you're living your best possible life, you're doing all of these. It doesn't mean you do these and then you forget about them, because the bottom ones is physiological needs, right? So you've got things like, I'll just use this here as a reminder. So you have things like air, water. Everyone needs air. You can't go too long without air. It's the number one thing we need. Our mindset is the number one asset we have, but the one thing we need, other than our mind and we'll know how to use it correctly, is water. Air. You can't go too long the next thing without air. The next thing is water, and then you've got things like food, then shelter, clothing, sleep. Now, this makes so much sense when you compare this to life at the minute, right? So you've got people that are homeless. They're in the very bottom rung of this hierarchy of needs, because they're literally just looking after the basic essentials of life. And now, as much as we want to help the homeless, as much as we empathize for them, they're down in this bottom part of existence. Now, even us as humans, whenever a crisis comes along, what happens is when people don't have, and this is all to do with mindset, guys. This is just explaining mindset in a model, and how important, not just explaining, but it's showing it metaphorically in a model here, how important mindset is. Because, and I could, again, we're obviously just giving a quick summary here, and I'll talk about this in more detail as we go forward in different ways. But that's just one of the reasons why people are homeless in the street, is their mindset, is how they see themselves in the mind. And they're very low, what's called low level of consciousness, in terms of that's mindset. So they've got a low level of awareness and consciousness. So they're obviously living at the very bottom of the ladder of existence. Then you've got safety, and that's like health, employment, property, like your family stability. Now, as you'll notice, recently, whenever this crisis hit, even if you were a person that was living up here and you were like really what's called self-actualized, and you were meeting all these needs, whenever that crisis hit, you're gonna obviously start thinking of these bottom, because they're the fundamentals, what's called fundamentals. So you're gonna be thinking of these. Now, that's normal. That's normal. So you might go into a bit of shock and a bit of fear for a period of a moment or a day or two, where you're like, shit, I need to get things in order here. So that's why whenever something like this happens and you go into the physiological needs, air, water, obviously you need food, you need shelter, safety, and stuff like that, just to know that everything's okay. And obviously people were getting laid off employment. So these are here. But the thing is, guys, if you have a person that understands the mind and the power of the mind, how your mind runs your life and creates your existence, literally creates your whole existence, because it's all mindset. Then your life, that's what's been shown to us by the geniuses that have come before, that really have start to really get this information to us in amazing ways, like Einstein and these guys here that showed us in psychology, but also in science. We've got Einstein showing us how everything comes from the mind and then it's manifested in the physical. That's how it works, guys. It doesn't go physical, mind, it goes from mind, then the physical. So the mind is always creating your life. But even if you have a great mindset, you still in times of crisis have to start to look after your basic needs. But this is the difference. If people don't have a good mindset, whenever a crisis hits, they will go down here, and some people actually just live here. That's where they live. They live in safety and physiological needs all their life, and they're not living their best, most fulfilled life, because how can you when you're just existing? Now, so you can see what I mean. But someone has a strong mindset, they're going to go here, make sure everything's okay. Like I did that. Whenever this all happened, I basically thought, Jesus, I need to make sure everything's okay, get, the essentials, etc. And, obviously we've heard we had to wash your hands and do all those types of things. That's, fine, but there was no need to stay there then, because after a few days or a week or something, you had all things sorted out. Then you go back up here. So the people that understand the mind, and this is again, guys, why mindset is so important, because people have a strong mindset and understand the mind. They know they need to go back up here, and knowing that they've got this part all looked after in the meantime while all this is happening. And because they have that awareness, they can now thrive instead of just surviving. They can start seeing opportunity. They can start seeing like opportunity when no one else is seeing opportunity. They can start seeing possibilities. Whereas most people that don't have a strong mindset, they go into here and they're just surviving the whole time, and they just go into the fight or flight, which also lowers your immune system, which is, obviously what you do not want at the minute. You do not want to lower your immune system at the minute. You want to elevate that. And when you're in fear and fight or flight, this is scientific, guys, it lowers your immune system. But when you realize, okay, I have everything sorted out. Yes, there's a crisis. I have everything sorted out. I'm looking after things and I know what I need to do. So let's start thinking of what I can do to improve things and what I can do to better myself, etc. And then you start to take yourself back out of fight or flight, and you get into a better elevated way of being, a more what's called higher consciousness. And then your immune system, again, because your mind and body is completely connected, your immune system starts to raise again because it's out of fight or flight. So moving up the table, the next one is belonging and love. Now, not everyone, there's different levels of mindset, but there is people that have a mindset to the point where, a lot of people in society are looking for belonging and love. When the real true exponential growth in someone with mindset is when they're basically above this part, but this part comes into play to an extent. That's what it's called, why it's called physiological needs. Whereas the bottom part is called basic needs, Whereas this is when you get into the psychological needs. And this is where you start to look belonging and love, like your family. Most people, if they have a family, they're getting that met to a certain extent. But again, you can see how mindset comes into this part more and more and more, because if you don't have a good mindset, then even when you start going up to level 3, where belonging and needs are, you are, if you don't have a good mindset, a lot of people have not a good family life because their mindset isn't good. And then they're causing conflict at home. They're not creating good relationships. This all comes from mindset, guys. How you see yourself, how you act is all coming from your mindset. So the better your mindset is, the better this level is. Then we go into the next level, which is esteem. Esteem is really important. It's to do with self-esteem, self-confidence, self-belief, all these things. As you can see, as you move up this, mindset becomes more and more and more key and important here. And you want to move up this, guys, if you want to live a truly fulfilled and happy life. That's what Maslow was saying, and he won, like he says, this guy is world renowned for this model that he came up with. So when you move up to what's called like the 4th level, that's mindset, where you need to grow. If you want to have self-esteem, it comes from your mind. If you want to have self-confidence, it comes from your mind. Now, I obviously, teach this and work with my clients. That's what I do in my mentorships and stuff, but I'm trying to share as much as I can freely here in these live streams. And I'm going to help and do that over the next, could be 3 months, 6 months. I'm going to do these daily live streams, guys, to help people as much as I can in this free way through these live streams, to try and just help as many people as I can in some way to do my bit with my knowledge in the last 14 years with all this study and amazing knowledge that I've gathered from the best people on the planet. So I'll do my bit over the next while to help people with that. But obviously we go into deep dive in a very intensive way in our mentorship programs and stuff, as you may know of or may not, but that's just letting you know. But I will share as much as I can on these live streams, guys, on these daily live streams. So self-esteem is basically the next level. And then we move to the what's called the pinnacle, is when you become self-actualized. That's when you're really living your true essence. That's when you're basically like creative, and you're into like the meaning and inner potential, the true inner potential of you. You are like going for your dreams. You're actually, you know, really on a mission to every day. You're going for your true best vision of you, to create, to be, to manifest. All those types of things is when you have met all these needs. You've got the self-confidence, you've got the self-esteem, and then you're just really going after life and tapping into what's called your infinite potential, or transcendence, as some people call it. It's when you're tapping into what's, you know, literally infinite potential. And that's not just some blasé statement that I made up, guys. This comes from science that's proven that we are infinite beings if we truly know how to tap into it. And the potential is infinite. That's what it's really saying. Our potential is infinite. And so we can really just strive to be the best we can possibly be. And that's when we're truly fulfilled and happy. And that's in this part. So I'm obviously working with my clients to do that on a regular basis. And I'm trying to get as much of this information out there in some way to people to start to work on themselves. This could be the best time ever where you awaken to that side of you and start to work on yourself. And you can be tuning into these daily free live streams, guys, you know, that I'm doing here to help you to start to get this knowledge in some way, to really start to move yourself forward in a positive direction. And we can create a community of really like-minded people that are looking to support each other. I've got a group on Facebook. I'll just throw that up here in the comments. So guys, join that if you're not in that group. And I'm going to be doing meditations in that group, only probably in that on more regular basis in that group. I'll do some meditations live on here during the week. And yeah, guys, so look, and as you can see, that is true fulfillment when you're up here. This the very bottom is basic needs, where you're just surviving. The second level is when you start getting into the psychological needs. First one, belonging and love. The better mindset you have, the better family life you have, because you know how to interact with people better. You're a better person in all ways. Again, comes from understanding the mind and how to be and how to act in the best possible way. Self-esteem, self-confidence, all these things are obviously really powerful traits. And then when you're really self-actualizing, as Abraham Maslow said, what one can be, one must be. That's what he said. One can be, one must be. And that's like coming from this guy. There's actually a really good quote here. I'll just get it here from Abraham, pretty much saying the same thing. And he said, if you plan on being anything less than you're capable of being, you will very likely be unhappy and not the happiest version of you. Because he's, you know, studied this and understands that if you're not being the best version of you, you can't achieve true happiness. You know, because true happiness comes from what's called fulfillment, and this is where you're truly fulfilling your every need when you're self-actualizing. And that's where true happiness comes, not fleeting happiness where you go and you eat chocolate or you buy something. You know, that's fleeting happiness, that comes and goes. True happiness is when you truly are being the best version of you, and that's what I really am so passionate about teaching and helping people to be. Because that's all coming from mindset, and that's my expertise, and I'm so passionate about teaching that and helping people with that. So there you go, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick overview of this amazing model from Abraham Maslow. Great guy. He's passed away 1970, but he obviously come up with some amazing stuff that's really useful. So there you go, guys. Thank you for I'll just put this up on the screen. So guys, that is the up on the screen is the comment, or the comment that's in the comments here. There's a comment that's in the comments here, and it's basically just click on that comment. I just put it up on the screen so you can see it. Click on that comment and you will basically see the group, and just add yourself to the group and you'll see lots more stuff on there. So thank you, guys. Please share this with anyone that you think, tag someone or share it. Get this information out, and let's grow a community of people that want to bring out the absolute best in themselves, live their true potential, self-actualize, and be the best they can possibly be. Because we can do that, guys, together. Together, everyone can achieve so much more. It's a fact. Like, look at now at the minute when people are fulfilling the basic needs, the innate part of us as a community wants to come together. But you can only really excel when you have the right mindset and properly excel. And we can create a group of people that are excelling together and becoming the true best version of ourselves. And when you're in a group together, you can excel so much quicker. So let's create a community of people like that, guys. And yeah, let's be the best we can be. So thanks for your comments there, guys. I really appreciate it. There's Martina. Thanks, Martina. Sharon, Karen, Breach. Who else have we got on here? Yeah, appreciate everyone and your comments. Thanks so much, guys. There's Breach on, Breach Boyd, Breach Doherty, and Ege Houston. Right. Yeah, so awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. If you're on here, one. If you come in later, put in one. If you're on live, if you're on the replay, put in two. And put in something you're grateful for today, guys. We done a gratitude meditation yesterday. If you haven't seen it, it's on the replay there. We did that yesterday. So put in something you're grateful for, because every day when you do that, you're training your brain to look for gratitude, things you're grateful for. And that's one of the key things, is the repetition of this stuff. So that's why you want to show up here every day. We're doing these live streams, guys, and you know, take the information in and go over it and over it. I'll be sharing lots of different information. It's not the same information, but what I mean is anything you do in repetition, whether it's mindset information in general or putting in gratitude, it's really, really key. It's one of the ways that your brain starts to get rewired to the way you want to be, and then that starts showing up in your life. So yeah, guys, thanks again. Really appreciate everyone, and much love. Thank you. I always appreciate you guys showing up, and yeah, just, you know, putting your best selves forward and supporting each other and being here in a like-minded community. All right, guys, have an awesome evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, wait, we're doing an interview tomorrow with a top nutritionist, so you'll really get value from that, guys. Everyone wants to better their immune system. The mind does that. If you know, have heard me before, you'll hear me saying it in future ones anyway, how the mind has such a positive effect on your body, your cells, your immune system. But nutrition is really important as well. And I've got an amazing guy coming on tomorrow. It's his expertise, nutrition. So you'll get a lot of value there. Talk soon. Have an awesome evening. Talk soon, guys.